In today's episode, I'm checking out licensing in both Microsoft 365 and Entra ID. There's been some new updates recently. We're going to take a look at those. In addition, I'm going to show you how you can save a packet. So if you're ready to learn, let's go. Today's video is sponsored by eNow, the multi-tool for the modern workplace director. Protect and optimize Microsoft 365 and Entra ID with advanced monitoring, license optimization, adoption and governance reporting. Visit enowsoftware.com for more details. Hi everyone, Andy here. So nice to see you and a warm welcome to the channel. So in this episode, I thought we'll do a demo, look at some of the new features in the portal, including how to best assign licenses to both users and also groups. In addition, I thought we'd talk a little bit about saving money. So first up then, saving cash. How can I save some money? Well, first of all, there's a couple of kind of illusions when we sign up to Microsoft 365. We all assume that we have to be on the same expensive E5 plan. This is not the case. In fact, in most cases, it's only about 10 to 20% of your workforce that will actually need those advanced features. And did you know that you can actually mix and match plans to meet the requirements of your employees? And in fact, I would actually recommend don't match the plans to your employees, match it to the data. So for example, if you've got users who are using very sensitive data, then obviously these guys are going to need something like Microsoft Purview. It's going to need maybe the E5 subscription. Whereas if you're just dealing with, let's say, call center staff or salespeople who are not necessarily out on the road, who are working, for example, in a call center, then they can use the F plans, for example. Whereas most other staff, if they don't need the advanced features, you can even get away with things like a business premium or even an E3 subscription. And as I said, you can mix and match these plans. In addition, you can also save up to 10% every year by going to a yearly subscription rather than a monthly subscription. It's amazing how many people don't know that. And indeed, if you're using your Azure benefit, what's the Azure benefit? Well, if you've got kind of hybrid environments, which let's face it, many companies do, then you're going to have the case of where you've got Windows servers or SQL servers on premises, and you're going to have these in the cloud as well. Well, by using that, you can actually save yourself up to 40% every year. And if you combine it up with a commitment, so I recently did a video, you do a commitment for, let's say, a project for 2 to 3 years, then you can save yourself a whopping 80% on costs. So, I mean, there are definitely savings to be made, and you just need to be quite clever when you're doing it. Now, in addition to the demo that I'm going to show you, stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to show you some really cool websites where you can actually find these savings, and also where you can play around with the different options in the plans to, again, save you money. Okay, so just a quick reminder, if you haven't subscribed, please go and subscribe. Click on the subscribe button up there, ring the bell, and give the channel a nice like. It does help me. Okay, so I think without any further ado, what do you say we jump in, have a look at the demo first, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about some of these cool websites. All right, you enjoy. Okay, so I'm kicking off my demo here in Microsoft 365 and two portals that I want to discuss today. The first is I'm going to just flip over here into Identity. And of course, this, of course, is Entra ID. Now, Entra ID has recently changed, and if I go into users here, and if I go into a particular user account, let's say Adele, you'll notice here that you can no longer license a user. I can go in and view the licensing, but you can see adding and removing licenses. You can now only do this within the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So I can see what licenses I've got, but of course, I can't change anything. So to manage your licenses then, what you want to do is you want to come in here into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. And if you scroll down, there's two really important areas here. Of course, the first one is billing. And if I come in here, I'm just using a demo platform at the moment, but you can see that I've added in a number of various features. At the moment, I've got various trials here of various pieces of software. So it tells me how many assigned licenses that I've got, but also how many purchased licenses that I've got as well. And that's an important thing, by the way. You don't want to have any users who are totally over licensed. For example, you've given so many users E5 licenses, but they don't need these advanced features. So for example, salespeople, I don't think that salespeople really do need an E5 license. The only users who need E5 are the folks that really need access to advanced security and compliance features like purview, labeling, and so on. But generally speaking, many salespeople might just get away with, for example, an F plan. That's the kiosk plans that we have. So as I've said, I can come in here. You can see what products that you've got. And if you've got any benefits with your license, again, this depends on the vendor that you've brokered the deal with. And also it shows you when you took out the license, when it's due to expire, and so on. One important point, always do the free trials. Always take the free trials. Sometimes they can be 30, 60, or even 90 days in duration. So make sure that you get that, because that, again, will save you quite a bit of cash. In terms of assigning licenses, you can assign licenses in one of two ways. You can either assign it on a per user basis when you create the user, or you can also go into the licenses area here in the portal. And in the portal, again, it shows you what products that you've got. It shows you how many available licenses do you have, and also how many you've utilized actually, and also what type. It's an organizational license here. Now, for reporting purposes, you can also export that to, for example, a CSV file. And if you're using, let's say, the Power Platform, Power BI, and you want to make all nice fancy graphics and charts, then you can do that. So we have a number of different ways of assigning licenses. You can assign licenses per user or per group licensing. So again, you can see we've got our subscriptions. So for example, I want to come in here and I've got, let's say, an Entra Suite license. I can click into the Entra Suite license, and you can now see users and groups. So I can say, hey, I want to assign this either to an individual user. So for example, I'll come in and I'll say, let's bring in Alan. Now let's do Jean-Luc Picard. I'm a big Trekkie, as you know. We'll assign one to Jean-Luc, and I'm going to go ahead and assign the license to him. And likewise, I'm also going to come into groups. And this is great, by the way. You can assign the licenses here to specific groups of users. So again, I can just click into here, and then you can select the group that you want. So in this case, I'm going to select the leadership group. So you select them and then simply assign those licenses there. So as I said, you can assign licenses to both users and groups, and this can save an awful lot of time. But that's just, you go into each individual license and you can then assign the licenses that way. So other ways of assigning apps and also licensing, you can do this through requests. So if you're doing any kind of automated process, you can use this, things like application governance licenses and so on. You can also create an auto claim policy here as well. Now with the auto claim policy, I haven't got any licenses in this demo, but if I just call it demo, for example, I'll say next, and I've got Teams, but unfortunately I've run out of licenses with this particular tenant. But But anyway, you would choose the products that you want the user to basically have, and then you would click on next, and then there would be a security group here. So you would assign this then to a security group, create that policy, and then you would assign it and you're good to go. In addition to licensing there, I can also come into my user groups here, users and groups here. And if I come into my users, of course, I can select a bunch of users, which is quite useful. So, for example, let's say I've got Deborah here, I've got, let's say, Erwin and Grady. So if I come up here and I say, I want to manage the product licenses, you can replace the license, you can assign more licenses, or you can unassign all licensing. So if I come in here, I can replace these licenses. I can say, hey, I want to replace this with these two options here. I can just simply click on the changes and you'll now see that those users have now been updated. So again, there's multiple different ways of managing your users there. So assigning licenses to groups is definitely one of the most efficient ways to assign a license, but also using this feature is very good as well. So as I said, when you're subscribing to Microsoft 365 or designing your tenant, try not to think about licensing your users. Think about licensing your users based on their data usage. So as I've mentioned, you can mix and match licensing. So you can have some users on a business premium. You can have some users on an enterprise plan. You can have users on kiosk plans within your organization. So high-end users who are using sensitive data, maybe they carry laptops around, they're going to want the E5 plan with the EM&S and security. Whereas users who are just sales and they're maybe in a call center, give these guys flexible F plans or the kiosk plans. Whereas you might have some branch users that only require certain features. So again, just remember those things. Now, in terms of the business plans, of course, just one point to remember, this is for a minimum of 300 users. So if you've got more than 300 users, you might want to combine the E3 and the E5 plans, but also you can have in there the F plans as well. So definitely check those out. The other thing that I wanted to mention was this website. I've mentioned this before, but it's a great site and it's recently been updated. This is the Microsoft 365 licensing matrix. And if I come down here, we have this, the feature matrix here. And this is where I can say, hey, I want to select none and I want to compare what's the difference between an E3, let's say, and an E5 subscription. So this is a great tool for that. As I mentioned, you can also take advantage of the Azure hybrid benefit and save up to 40% if you've already using on-premises Windows servers and SQL servers. And definitely check out the pricing calculator. If you make a commitment, let's say you run a project and you reckon this project's going to go for a year, if you're happy to prepay that, then you can make massive savings, seriously, of up to 80%. So definitely check out all those savings. So there you have it, Microsoft 365 and Entra ID licensing. It's a bit of a minefield, but it doesn't have to be, and it doesn't have to be super expensive. So make sure that you grab those savings, because really, you could be overpaying crazy, amounts, especially if you've got thousands of employees. So make sure that you take advantage of those savings. Anyway, I really hope that you've enjoyed today's session. And if you did, give me a big like, thumbs up, all of that. And if you've got questions and comments, I love those. So always get those down below. And of course, I'll do my best for you. All right, that's it for this week. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Take care.